The show's about to start.
Come in, dear.
Let's get ready to shake, rattle, and roll with Graceland Glamour Girl, the one who puts the CC in rider, Miss Cece Glamour.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to season 4 of the Glamorous Pink Riders podcast. As usual, I am your host, Cece Glamour, and we have a special guest. Now let her take it away.
Hi, I am Kathryn Taylor, and I'm so excited to be here on your show.
I'm excited to have you. Tell everybody, one, how we met, and what is it that you do?
Absolutely. So we met at the Elvis Presley Festival, where you were a phenomenal Elvis tribute artist. And then as far as who I am and what I do, so I am a filmmaker, writer, and actor. So I do a little bit of everything. I've written a few books, and I am a YouTuber as well. I'm currently working on the Corley Diaries, which you were in one of, which is so exciting. That's my video journal where I work on being grateful and trying to find something positive in every day. So that is one of my current projects that I'm really devoted to, as well as bringing back my old YouTube channel, Watch Out World. So, yeah.
That all honestly sounds amazing, especially with you doing your video vlog, which I need to get better at doing myself. I have one called CC on the Go, and we haven't had a new one since last Elvis week.
Oh, bliss. Yeah, no, it's been a minute for me too. Like I was like, oh man, sometimes it gets really hard. Like I've been on a set recently where I'm a producer, and so it's like we have back to back to back filming. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do everything in one day. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
I definitely get to have like 2 film projects I'm working on. One we're filming next month, and then I have to finish rewriting the other one. And then I'm like also making sure that I have all my outfits ready because I have to do another Elvis festival August 2nd. So like I'm like
Oh
making
yeah.
sure everything fits and makes sense. And then the cast is like, what are we doing over here? And what day we're doing? Like, we're meeting on Thursday.
Right.
You're like, so
Right.
please be here. We have important dates to discuss. And they're like, what about costumes? And I'm like, we were in the Zoom and they're like, what about costumes? And I was like, oh yeah, so the costume that I'm doing is a black leather outfit. Oh, you meant for the wrong costumes. You guys
May I say, you have amazing costumes. Like the wardrobe is like, okay, I love this.
I hilariously, I just was it this morning. I got home from Chattanooga, Tennessee, because I am learning how to sew, and we sewed an entire 1950s pencil dress as a first thing. And the
That's
funniest thing
amazing.
is, it looks like the yellow that it is. It's the same yellow that Anne Margaret wears in Viva Las Vegas.
So funny.
And I was like, and so we're looking at it, we're like, this is a good yellow. We're all like, why does this look familiar? And so we're like, so this is a vintage late 50s material, but I got it because it reminded me of Anne Margaret, and being a female Elvis, I can actually do Anne Margaret's parts in Viva Las Vegas.
That's so iconic. Oh my gosh. No, I'm like I'm learning how to sew as well. And I feel like I should, right? Because my last name is Taylor. So I feel like it's like I have to live up to my name.
I, honestly, I thought that we were going to seam rip the dress a lot more than what happened. I think we only had to seam rip it twice, so I was very proud. Because I thought we were just gonna get the first stitch and be like, well, this is wrong. And this is, I was like, oh, and we got to it. And we're like, and she's like, oh, yeah, you did the other side perfect. I was like, oh, I thought we were gonna have to like seam rip this whole thing and start again. I think the only thing I messed up on was like we had one sleeve that was uneven. So I had to cut it out and it was like
Yeah.
more even, but still off. But it works.
Mm. Sorry, I needed my my coffee. I'm like, oh my god, it's later into the afternoon, but listen, I need my caffeine right now.
I usually I have like my big Elvis cup because I
Oh
get
my
gifted
gosh.
Elvis cups a lot. Which the way that I sound, that makes it sound like I don't like being gifted Elvis cups. I do. I love being gifted Elvis cups. And like the
I imagine you like being gifted most anything, Elvis.
I'm over like I do not have where I'm like I'm not gonna say no to it unless it's something really, really weird. And even then, it depends.
Well, yeah, I was definitely thinking, I'm like, okay, I gotta get her back to Tupelo. We need to do like some kind of iconic photo shoot, right? Like all Elvis vibes. Like, I just feel like that would be so iconic.
I have so many Elvis outfits. I just bought another. Well, I bought the pants to his Blue Hawaii, because there's so many different covers of it. And a lot
Yeah,
of the guys, which I understand, a lot of the guys will do his usual white pants and the floral shirt. Oh no,
yeah.
I said I'm going to go extreme and do his swim trunks that they gave him in the 60s that are like hot pants.
Oh, heck yeah.
And the guys go, so you do realize how short those are, right? Like your junks. And then they had to realize you're a woman, you can do that. They're like, we do it. Our junks out there for like, they're like for the goodness and glory. It's like, yes, please don't do the shorts.
Yeah, you're like, this is something that only I can do now. Haha.
That's like the fun part. I think that's like the fun part now of like being in the space as a woman Elvis is like there's more stuff you get to do that they don't get to, but then there's stuff that
Yes.
they get to do that you can't because it hurts.
Right?
Love 70s Elvis to death. But
Right.
like when it comes to the song Poke Salad and he's over there shaking a little hard, I might take my own eye out.
Yeah, right. Right. Like, no, I was so impressed with everybody's like moves. I'm like in yours too. I was like, how do you guys sing and do all that intense movement? I'm like, oh my goodness, that's so much.
My tip, honestly, is we just watch Elvis. And so, and it's so hard now because Elvis is like, it's so funny to be like, yeah, Elvis is technically my boss. And it's the one time you can say your boss is hot and not get fired because he's been dead for 48 years.
Hey, allegedly.
Alleged, yeah, allegedly. Oh,
Allegedly.
exact. Yeah, I love the conspiracy theories that is like endless. But they're because they're so wild and they don't make sense.
So
They
wild.
make sense.
No, absolutely. Because no, this is why I always tell people like literally don't ask me my opinion on anything. Because here, listen, this is what happens. I say to myself that pretty much anything could happen. And so I get in my brain and I get arguments for every side
Yes. Just you're like just in case.
just in case. Let me and then like by the time I talk myself into it, I start believing it. And then like and then I go and rationalize. I was like, that was stupid. Why would I believe
That's like the Elvis fan base, and like, and it's so funny because we don't have a name, and we should have it. We are the first fan base that made fan bases a thing, and the
it?
girls, and some of them are still alive and in Tupelo, and they forgot to give us a name. We have a fan club, and I'm like, so you had a fan club, okay, and you're the first
Yeah.
fan club, and you forgot to name us. The
Well,
Beatles,
okay.
I'm like, the Beatles girls have a name.
We need to come up with a name. Okay, also, well, you'll love this. I was starting to write like a little short story about like Tupelo. And you know what you know what name I gave it?
What?
Elviston.
I love it. I love it.
Welcome to Elviston. No, but it
I
like actually would like make way more sense for
It
the
really
town.
would. It really would because you cannot go in Tupelo without seeing his face.
Oh, absolutely.
And
It's literally like massively painted on like brick buildings.
I love coming to Tupelo when I'm going into Memphis because I'll stop by and I'll say hi to everybody. I'm like, it's almost like I live in Tupelo and I don't, but that's how much I go where they're like even when I came for the festival with my mom and I'm in the shop and I'm like showing her around the hardware store, you just hear them go, "Hey, you're back. You're not supposed to be back here until like August." I'm like, yeah, I'm in the contest.
No, that's fun.
They were like, "You were here January." You came here in March. I was like, yeah, March was for a birthday party in Memphis, but
At
yes.
this point, you just need an apartment in Tupelo or something. Like,
At this point, like the what I love though is like it's like Tupelo is its own like cool magical place, but like I love that if you tell people who live in Tupelo, like, yeah, I think I saw Elvis's ghost, they go, yeah, you did. But if you see that anywhere else,
yeah, no,
they're not.
absolutely.
They're like,
No, like he is there. He is there in the lyric. Oh, do you know the history of
yeah,
the lyric and not just the kiss, like the tornado thing?
no.
You don't know that? Girl, I got a story for you. Do I got a story for you? So basically, it was like the early 1900s, right? And um so this is so wild. So a tornado rips through the town, right? Just like
Right.
rips through the town and pretty much like demolishes the majority of town. And so the lyric actually became a hospital for a little bit. And like a triage hospital. And like they literally used the popcorn machines as like ways to like sanitize their medical instruments. Like way back in the day. Like obviously it's not the same popcorn machines. But I mean like but yeah, it was like a hospital there for a minute.
That to be fair, most theaters are haunted, but that actually is
That's an intense backstory, isn't
that
it?
isn't. And then they're like, and then the fact that they just glance over that and go, Elvis got a first kiss here, and they don't even mention he performed there when he was 8.
Yeah, that's why like every year they do the haunted lyric, you know? And I'm like, like everyone's like, oh, this theater's haunted. Like this one probably is actually haunted.
Like, it's like for once that might not actually be Elvis in the building, but that might probably be a pregnant woman from the early 1900s.
You never know. You never know. Like you literally never know.
Like that is, I gotta admit, that's the funniest thing between Tupelo and Memphis, right? Okay, so like the fans will tell you that like Graceland is haunted. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. The staff will tell you it's not haunted. You feel a presence. I'm like, that's a ghost. I'm like, look, as a Southern woman myself from North Carolina, that's a ghost. Okay. If you
Mhm.
feel Elvis coming down the steps, that's because he's coming down the steps.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, like, I don't know. Okay. So tell me about your feelings towards the paranormal and ghosts.
Let's see. Every time I come to Tupelo, Elvis takes my keys. So if that doesn't tell you where my feelings. Also, he sometimes turns on my light bulb if I don't book my hotels fast enough for Elvis events. And I know it's
Really?
different because when I say Elvis stop it, the light bulb stops.
That's so crazy. Oh my gosh. I love ghost stories. Like legitimately. Like they are so fun to me. Like I'm like, how do these things happen, you know?
For me, it's just Elvis. I'm like, unlike the Haunted Mansion, where they're like 999 happy haunts, mine is Elvis. I'm like, hi, buddy. All right. I usually have to tell them like I'm going to be here for a while, so please let me have my keys.
Mm-hmm.
Or I have to go.
No,
I will dig you. I will dig you up and take you home.
see, I get visited by like spirits in my dreams. You know what I mean? That
Yes.
happens a lot for me. Like I will literally like I will dream of like so many different family members and that kind of thing, and it's the wildest feeling.
Try having Elvis come to you in your dreams and then be the judge of the Tupelo Elvis Festival every night leading up to it to try to tell you you're singing a song wrong, while his daughter Lisa's also telling you that's not how you're singing my daddy's song. Do it again.
That's so wild. You're really like tuned into the spirit. That's
It's
so
so
wild.
funny because I'm like, and then you wake up, and then I wake up and I'm like, I'm not at the festival. Also, it's only April. And we didn't even know our songs yet. So I'm like, so we're like running through the songs I had in the list, and I'm like, I don't even know what song I'm doing. Like, sir.
Okay, so see if you would like follow my same like vibe on this, okay?
Yeah.
I have a feeling that like ghost of like artists and that kind of thing, like even after they pass, like I like how you're talking about Elvis, like that makes so much sense with me. Like I feel like they come back to protect their art, you know? Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like they work with, like, I feel like it's so common. I've just heard so many people. I feel like it's so common, like, if you're really attached to an artist, for them to, like, their spirit to, like, visit you.
No, like that actually makes sense because he definitely will come back. Like, what was it? We were driving, my mom and I were driving, and we actually saw a cloud, and he wouldn't let me take it. And I know it was he wouldn't let me take a pic. Like I took a picture, but he wouldn't let me get him. But you could actually see his eyes in the cloud, and then on the other side was a cartoonishly looking Johnny Bravo-esque cloud that looked kind of like him. But on the side, it was actually his eyes, and I'm sitting here like, this man is going to haunt me, which is great. But also sometimes like, can I go to sleep? Can I? Well, like, can I? Like, sir, please.
Okay, so here's my question for you. Do you think that Elvis's ghost found you first, or do you think your obsession with Elvis made his ghost come to you?
I want to say half and half, but I feel like it was one of those he found me first, and then
Okay.
it was noticed like, hey, it was like, oh, hey, and now it's just like I'm like, and now we won't leave my dreams. Not that I'm like, not that I'm complaining. There's a lot of women who probably wish they could dream about Elvis. Not that I'm complaining,
Oh
but
my gosh. Girl, you don't even know. Like, well, I'm actually you do know. You probably, but anyway, so I went to see an Elvis tribute artist down in Biloxi at one of the casinos like years ago. And like it just always cracked me up because there were like all these like elderly women like hobbling up on their canes to give kisses and like give like gifts and that kind of thing. It was so funny.
I love it every. Oh my god! So like, it's even funnier at Graceland with Dean Z, who was one of the first ETAs I ever seen. Okay, so so mind you, his wife is his background singer. Is his number one background singer. These old ladies, and I love them to bits, and I know some of them will go on the stage, right? They will
Right.
put their fingers through his hair. They will put their hands in his jumpsuit and start filling him up. And I'm like, and his wife is just like, she'll just be on the side of the stage like, this is another Wednesday. Like, she is so unfazed. She's just like, okay.
Yeah. I would like, honestly, you know what I would do? I would probably just be like, I would probably walk up if I was like in his wife's shoes. It's just like I would just I don't know. I would have to do something. You know, like maybe not like call them out or like be like mean about it, but like I would need to like I don't know. I would need to be a presence. Like I would need a haunt.
I think what makes it funny is because they're like 70 something years old. So it's like, so you kind of are like, eh,
Yeah.
they're used to doing
Yeah.
it. And they were like, they were like in
Solid.
their 20s and saw Elvis. I mean, hey, at least he gets that.
You
Elvis
know what? Yeah.
Elvis once had a woman come up to him in Vegas and he was sweating and she took her own underwear off and then she wiped the sweat off with it and gave them to him. He went, I think you need these, honey. I'm like, sir. I'm like, at least you were kind enough to return.
That is so wild. This is I don't think I could I don't care. I wouldn't care if I was a guy. I would not want that kind of attention. You know what I mean? Like, no, get your nasty, crusty underwear off my face.
Like, where have those been? I
Up your butt is where it's been.
and it's I think the funniest thing though, because I love the people of Tupelo and how so in tune they are with Elvis. And so I did a series for like a little bit that I got to start back up again because of more pictures. And if you scroll on my Instagram, you'll find it where it's me matching pictures of Elvis with pictures that I have.
Oh, that's amazing.
And they're hilarious and they're spot on. So I was the first time I went to Tupelo was like last year, January for my birthday. And this lady comes up to me, she goes, do you know whose cheekbones you have? And I was like, my own. And she goes, you have the same cheekbones as Elvis. And I was like, yeah, we're both Cherokee. And then it hit me, oh my God, I have the same cheekbone. You are right.
Oh, that's so cool.
So as you see, what if you ever look at a picture of Elvis smiling and then you see me smile, like right in here is it's funny. It is
Cool.
hilarious.
Um, okay. Switching subjects a bit. What do you think about Elvis's favorite foods?
Okay, so I have a cookbook that has his favorite foods. Um,
Amazing.
So I love the fact that there are different variations of the peanut butter, bacon, and banana sandwich,
And that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
and then you learn that some people there was never bacon on it, but then like there's been times where it's bacon. There's times where it was a burger that he would get. There's a version where there's also like jelly, but then there's also just a peanut butter, jelly, and banana sandwich one.
My guess is they're all probably accurate.
I with him, yes.
Yeah. Well, you know what the version is that we used to eat at my house, which is so weird.
Which one?
This is it's toasted white bread, the bacon, the
Yeah.
banana, and mayonnaise.
Okay, well that's not weird because my mom will eat sometimes a banana man and mayonnaise sandwich. So that's really not that off. But
Yeah. Okay, so you see, I would tell people about this sandwich and they would like lose their minds. I'm like, it's a delicious sandwich. And they're like, no, it's nasty. I'm like, it's like, how? It's delicious.
I think the funniest thing because you have, especially with like the Elvis base, you have so many fans that are from all over. But then like I'm sorry, the true Elvis fans are the ones from the South who understand the food. Okay, and I'm
Yeah.
like, and I'm sitting here like they're like. Now I don't. Okay, so I have to probably do meatloaf the way that the way that his mom's recipe was because I had a cousin was pregnant and she made it with a bunch of hate and you could taste it and it was disgusting.
Mm.
So I probably have to eat it the way that his mom used to make it. But other than that, like just about everything else, I'm like, I'm okay with this. I'm like, this is great, except for this one salad he used to apparently eat as a kid.
What was it?
Okay, so apparently it was called the Coca-Cola salad, which I beg
Okay.
to differ because as a kid he was a huge Pepsi fan. He loved Pepsi. But it's cherry jello and it's Coca-Cola and it's walnuts and you mix it together and it just this is probably the worst way to put it. So if anybody's watching this when it comes out and they're eating, sorry in advance, it looks like a period blood clot.
Uh,
That's the best way to put it. I'm like,
uh,
there's some you weren't eating this as a kid in Tupelo. Please tell me you weren't.
man. The thing is, as somebody from Tupelo, he probably was eating it in Tupelo.
I love you. Like, yeah, that's on brand. That's about right.
That's pretty gross. Yeah.
You're like that. You're like, yeah, that's accurate. That's about.
Well, the visual image, I'm like, God, that's like
That,
not
that's
what
really
we
what it
want.
looks like. I'm
Mm-mm.
glad it's just let you eat this. Like, glad it's just sat there. Was like, what I love though is in Tupelo is like the stories about Vernon just by himself.
Mhm.
They were like, because they're like, oh yes, Vernon left and took his family to Memphis for a better life. And so Floyd of the Tupelo hardware store goes, Vernon left because he stole a pack of cigarettes and they was about to get him again. And I said, that sounds right.
Ah, that's so funny. See, this is the thing. This is like when I saw the Kings of Tupelo, you know?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
That
I
was
was like, I was literally like, this is the best representation I've ever seen of like what the people of Tupelo are like. And somebody from there, like,
you're
this
like,
is
this is it. You're like, this is it's like you either get weird true crime or you get Elvis. Or
no,
Elvis.
absolutely. And a lot of times there's a mix of both. Like literally, I was in Orlando and I was like on a bus and I told somebody I was from Tupelo and then she goes, oh, I just saw this documentary, The Kings of Tupelo. And I was like, oh my God. And then she was like, and then she's like, is that how people from Tupelo actually are? And I'm like, no, they're worse. In the best way possible.
Like the fact you're like, no, it's actually you know what, being there for 2 nights, you're right. But I love the people of Tupelo. I
I
do.
love them too. No, but like you have the most insane stuff like happen. Like it was actually really sad, but somebody literally hijacked a plane and threatened to like fly into the Walmart. I'm not kidding.
Oh, no,
Like
we have
that was just something that happened in town and you're just like, what?
no, I get like no because here in of course being from North Carolina, but here in Georgia we have weird crimes like that here. Like when we first moved here, there was a man who crashed into a gas station to get a bottle of Hennessy, takes one bottle, and then the guy who owns the gas station goes, if I were the one being a criminal, I would have just taken the actual case because it would have been worth something instead of a bottle. I'm like, why are you telling the news how you would have wished that somebody would have robbed you, sir?
That's crazy.
Yes.
That is absolutely crazy. No, it's like I don't know. You just living in the South, like you get the most insane stories.
Because we have nothing else to do.
I mean, yeah.
Like, I love Tupelo because, like, where else can you go where they're like, we have the Blue Suede Cruise car show. And then, like, 2 weeks later, we have the Elvis car show. And you're like, was the Blue Suede Cruise not the Elvis car show? They're like, no, because it's a part of the Tupelo Elvis Festival. Like, was that not also a pre warm up for the Tupelo Festival? And they're like, no. Why is it called the Blue Suede Cruise?
Right. Well, they actually used to have an automobile museum.
I saw, and I'm mad that they don't have it because I'm a classic car girl, and I'm like,
Well, they had some cars from movies too. And like some from the 1800s. Like it was like really cool. Like as a kid, I loved that place.
I am mad because I would spend good money just to go and like live in the automobile museum.
Dude, yeah. Like I mean, I don't know, like I was just everything vintage. You know what I mean? Like literally. Like appliances. I feel like there should be more options for like appliances that are actually vintage, not appliances that are vintage style. I'm talking about
Really
I
good.
want like a genuinely made in the 1950s like appliances to just like use.
Exactly. Like they're so nice. And that's what I love. That's one thing I love about the Elvis space too, is like there's so many women that enjoy vintage.
Yeah.
And then there's also me who's like, where the guys are like, oh, we're okay, we're dressed as Elvis, we're gonna go, we're gonna wear stuff. And they see me outside of like all the Elvis stuff, and they're like, so you just dress like this? I'm like, yeah, like the Elvis, like my gold lame dress is one of my pinup dresses. That also is the gold lame suit as a dress.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
yes. I'm like, this is it, guys.
All right. It's me. No, I like man, I had a moment though the other day where I was like, have you ever accidentally overly glammed?
Yes. Me when I came for like the actual Tupelo, when I came for the Tupelo set like the festival to actually register, and like
Uh-huh.
all the guys are either in like Adidas or they're like in pants. Some of the guys are like in their like the Elvis rehearsal outfits, and I've got the pompadour, I've got the ponytail, I've got my 1950 slacks on with like pink in them, I've got my shirt that has my name on it, and I have my black and white, Oxfords, and I'm sitting here like, and everybody else is just looking like,
Well, okay, listen. I feel like okay, listen. I feel like people should be able to be glammed up 24/7, no judge without being called autistic.
I'm like,
If I want to wear a ball gown to the grocery store, I don't want to be judged for it.
to make it so bad is because I also do Queen Charlotte and different 18th century reenactments. I actually have like the 18th century French style ball gowns. So like,
Incredible.
and yes, and if I'm like coming back from a reenactment or an event, I will go into a Walmart, I will go into a store, and I'm just like, all right, I have to get something real quick. And you have little girls that are like, there's a princess, and I have people who stare at me, and I completely have to look at myself and go, all right, I'm not dressed like a regular person.
Right. Well, see, you know what? Those are the people I live for.
Yeah.
The ones that like you're wearing something nice and they're just like, "Oh, you are like a princess." And not in the sense that I like need, well, actually, maybe I do need to be a princess. But but like to give like, hope and motivation and that kind of thing, right? And like add some wonderment to life. Like let's make life a little bit wonderful, you know?
Like that's one of the reasons I love being a pinup girl is even though like I get to go and do the different car shows or trade events or calendars, like even just walking in and I'm doing it, I come back from like a pinup gig and there'll be men that served and like the funniest story was a guy and he's like he served World War II and I'm in my authentic 1940s dress and everything and he bumps into the Coca-Cola display and I was like, oh my God, are you okay? He was like, I haven't seen a woman dressed like that since I was back in the war. And I'm just sitting here like, I made this man crash into Coca-Cola. Oh dear.
Bless. Bless.
Which are like,
No.
what? That means it's accurate.
Oh, there you go. Girly pop. You're just like, that. See, these are the people this is what we call community service.
It's, I boosted morale, and that's what pinup girls did.
Listen, I think they should bring back the job where you're just fabulous and people stare at you.
Exactly. They're like, everybody's like, the world, they're like, there's a World War III. The world, like, we need to go back. And I'm sitting here like, listen here, I am not going to be in the battlefield, but my job will be to be painted on the nose of a plane going like this. That's it. That's all I want. There you go. Don't ask me for anything else.
Well, these days you'd be painted on a drone. It's not the same.
That's not the same. That's
No.
depressing.
Let's talk about something else.
But no, like it's really fun. I'm like, it's really fun. It was really fun to actually even meet you at the at the Tupelo festival, and it was fun because I like my mom was like, you should like print out some autograph paper just in case people might want autographs, which I'm so glad she had me do. And I signed so many of them. I still have a little bit left over for Elvis week, but I'm like,
That's awesome.
I'm just sitting there like, hey, would you like an autograph? Would you like?
Because that's so cool.
So scared because I thought I was gonna get hurt. I thought I was gonna have to hear like, you're a woman, you shouldn't be an Elvis. And they were like, you were one of the best Elvises we have actually seen.
No, absolutely. Like this is what I mean. That's why I was like, oh my God, I have to interview her. Like I was like, no, I need to spend some time talking to her. Because the thing is like I did so much like cosplay and that kind of thing. And I think breaking the boundaries of what's accepted or expected, not accepted, expected, well, and accepted, I suppose, breaking those boundaries, and like creating something that, is, new and fresh, just because what you're doing is taking an essence of an idea and really reshaping it to something that fits you and something that you can embody. And that's really exciting because an idea and an artist is something that, to some degree, like pretty much any human can embody, right? Just like depending on um like how they relate to that, you know? And sometimes they can relate to it in ways that inspire other people. And I absolutely felt like you were doing that. So I was like, this girl's incredible. I got to get to know her. I was like, I could tell immediately. I was like, we would be friends. Like, we would be friends.
Oh yeah.
I like her.
It was like it was really fun just to actually be out there, but it's really funny because of the fact is like we're representing a man who literally broke barriers.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the thing is like, it, I don't know of any like really like, I mean, maybe I don't know. I don't know of any Elvis fan, like true, genuine Elvis fan, especially from Tupelo, that isn't kind of open minded about stuff, surprisingly, in ways that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, it's that's true, especially but what it's like it's very funny because it is kind of like in an odd way jaded because you have where some fans are like, I'm open to seeing new stuff, and some fans like, nope. And it's funnier because you start to see that the older fans are like, okay, we've literally seen everything you can do with Elvis at this point. So they're waiting to see new stuff. And the newer fans are kind of like, we only want to see Elvis this way. And I'm sitting here like, half of us weren't alive when this man was on stage, so I don't know what we're gonna keep the same at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I get to some degree that like maybe it would be fun to like live in that moment of like, but I feel like the ones who can interpret art and live with art and really appreciate um that, and it also comes down to a level of empathy too, right? Like, so if you can be empathetic and see like this is a human who loves and enjoys um what this artist is doing and how they're embodying this artist, then they're able to connect to them a lot more.
Like that's the part that's like that was really fun because for me it's not just like Elvis, even like how I said in your vlog, like where it's not just like Elvis the artist, but for me it's like Elvis the regular man who just would do like random stuff because he could, that I really enjoyed and connect with because me and him are so similar. It's like it's scary. But it's from like but it's really getting that part. And I think that's where a lot of people kind of forget. I'm like, Elvis, yes, he is this big star. But like, I'm like,
Yeah.
also Elvis is a country boy from Tupelo who would shoot a snake instead of moving away from it because it's too close to his chair. But honestly, same.
Yeah. I was like thinking, I was like, how fun. Like, honestly, you were inspiring. I was like, maybe I should try to do some Elvis tribute stuff. I was like, that would be so fun. I was like, wait a second. What if you and I did a duet sometime of like Elvis tribute stuff? Like, how fun would that be?
I'm actually trying to like get more shows, but it's like Georgia's kind of like not. I mean, well, there's parts of Georgia that has where like being an Elvis is cool, but it's not where like you could go to Tupelo and be like, hey, I'm gonna come to this like pizza shop and sing Elvis, and like, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that would be like, listen, we're so down for that. Like,
They were like, and that's what made their computer. They're like, hey, if you ever want to come back, and like, I'm like, yes, I want to come back. I always want to come back. I'm like, listen here, like my two mental crisis hideaways is Tupelo and Memphis.
yeah, right. Absolutely. Well, I mean, I think, man, well, okay, hear me out. Vegas.
Yes.
Okay, so what would your dream Vegas Elvis show be?
So honestly, I would have to say the international stage because of course that's where Elvis was. But
Mhm.
honestly, I would have to say his hotel suite because they now let you perform in there. And I think like the bed is still the original.
Mhm.
If I'm not mistaken, the bathtub is. And they finally redecorated the suite to where it's fully like Elvis, like his pictures are in there because it was Beyonce for a split minute. And we were like, Beyonce?
No, that's as bad as the Kim Kardashian Marilyn Monroe dress. I don't like
I
that.
was I was like, why are you here? This is not your room.
No, no. Like Beyonce, I'm like Beyonce?
Because
Like
I
that.
was like, Beyonce? And I
Oh,
was
that's gonna be my new vocal stem.
like,
Beyonce?
they put Elvis back in there. They actually have a man now because they're doing the anniversary of Elvis being in Vegas. And like they have I forgot his name, but I know he's a really amazing ETA. So he's in there and they've got like the Vegas showgirls. And I love how we've just put Vegas showgirls with Elvis, but like the only closest thing we have is Viva Las Vegas, where he's trying to find Anne Margaret and he's going to all of the different showgirl houses. Like that's it. But I'm like, we've never actually seen this man on stage perform with showgirls, and we just said, yeah, that makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah, why not? Sure. Well, I don't know. This is a man who brought a gospel choir all the time. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't know if that actually fits the vibe like you think it does. But then again, apparently he had women wiping his face with panties. So,
The more
um,
you know.
the duality of man is really an incredible thing.
I'm highly
And,
sure that probably happened before he sang "How Great Thou Art," and that probably makes it a million times funnier.
you know, okay. Wait. I got to get your opinion on something.
Okay.
The Elvis movie.
So every time I watch the Elvis movie, I go online and buy an outfit that I know I don't have from it that Elvis actually had. So we are 89% almost wardrobe from that movie.
I love that so much. No, I love that movie so much. It was one of those things. I watched it in theaters and I was like, I have to see this again.
And it's so sad because Graceland had the exhibit that actually had everything that they could, have for the movie. And then it's gone, but they have Austin Butler's suit, so his 68
Yeah,
special suit. So I was like, where's the rest of it going?
man. But hear me out though. That movie gave us the Tupelo Shuffle,
Yep.
and so I will quite literally be driving down the street, windows rolled down, Tupelo Shuffle blasting. I'm like, here I am shuffling up Tupelo. You know.
Exactly. We are almost out of time on the show, and of course, I would love to have you back anytime. Like this is
Thank you. This
you
was been very fun.
this is
So.
we're actually that's funny because this following episodes that we'll have is actually different ETAs. So this is actually the kickoff of our TCB talk.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful. And hopefully, we will be doing more things together. So, yes.
Well, until next time, it is time to shake, rattle, and roll out of here.
All right. Bye, guys.
And now, our song of the day for our episode.
That's alright, mama. That's alright with you. That's alright, mama. Any way you do, that's alright. That's alright. That's alright, no, mama. Any way you do. Let them know we're coming. Just stay there, woman. Engine still running. Get dressed like the whole world watching. God bless. Gotta leave them shookin', 'cause no one too great. Look at what you made. Always come correct. There's no turning back. Taking bigger steps. That's all I can do. That's all for the mama. That's alright with you. That's alright, mama. That's alright with you. That's alright, mama. Any way you do, that's alright. That's alright. That's alright, no, mama. Any way you do. Flew by, take a ride with me. Yes, I'm alright. Yeah, it's fine by me. I've been moving fast. She'll take all of me. I gotta watch my back. Trouble follows me. What's all the commotion? Look out the windows. Come outside and join it. These streets are never quiet. I said I've been on the vibe. No talk when we arrive. Let's start that started right. One shot might start a riot. That's alright, mama. That's alright with you. That's alright, mama. Any way you do, that's alright. That's alright. That's alright, no, mama. Any way you do. I made you love it, but that's alright. That's alright, no, mama. Any way you do.
The Glamorous Pink Rider podcast is proud to sponsor
Uptown girl, she's been living in her uptown world. I bet she's never had a backstreet guy. I bet her mama never told her why. I'm gonna try for an uptown girl. She's been living in her white bread world as long as anyone with hot blood can. And now she's looking for a downtown man. That's what I am. And when she knows what she wants from her time, and when she wakes up and makes up her mind, she'll see
And don't forget, you can watch us on any network you get your podcasts from, such as Spotify, iHeartRadio Podcasts, CastBox, YouTube, all under the Glamorous Pink Riders podcast, brought to you by Cece Glamour. And remember, stay cool, cool cats.